Monster Balisong back again for another review. Just fucking kidding. I wanna put on my watch that matches this knife. YouTube, welcome back to another review from Monster Balisong. Today, it is another utility knife, this time from Benchmade, which we will be comparing to the Small Fly 2, a utility knife of a very similar stature. Different materials though. So to start off with this knife, the Benchmade 32 it was made in the mid 2010s. I want to say 2014 to like 2017 or 18 they made this thing, and it is essentially the mini edition of the Benchmade 51. It's got titanium jeweled liners. I don't think any production Balisong from a big company has looked as nice as these liners. I fucking love these liners. They really do it for me. It's got a nice blue titanium pocket clip, which can't be taken out unless you shave these things, which is a shame. It's got a D2 blade steel. It has a really cool pocket clip that it'll lock into place like this, right? It's not spring latched. It actually uses this titanium. It uses the titanium liner itself. I don't know if you can see that, but it pushes it out and then it uses the tension from this liner to keep it closed and then pop it back out. And then this works the other way. It also will push this titanium liner back in. And then that's what happens when you close this thing, shut the latch. There is tension being applied on the inside of this liner, and if you squeeze the handles, it pops right out. I think that is a genius design. It's no spring latch, because if you look at this spring latch on the Small Fly 2, it doesn't rattle around at all. No rattlage, you know? No rattlage. But this thing will rattle. Like, it won't hit the handles, but it will rattle. It's a little obnoxious. So that's that. That locks in the open position. It does beat the Small Fly in that it locks in the open position. This thing don't, you know. This thing is open in your pocket. It'll close, but this thing's open. It'll stay open. This is a very short Balisong. Obviously, it's not a flipper's Balisong. It is 7.3 inches total. Only 4.39 inch handles, as you can tell. It's good for utility, but it's too small for my hands. Try to flip this damn thing. Let's check out the weight next. Don't want to forget weight. Alright, we're zeroed. We got ourselves 2.71 ounces. That is pretty light. Small Fly. 3.31. So this, having no titanium in it, is a pretty heavier knife. So to get into the review, ergonomics on this, I gave this an 8, whereas I gave this a 9. And the reason for that, this G10 is more grippy, and these grooves are amazing for fingers. This is one of the best ergonomic Balisongs I've ever felt as a tool, right? This thing does have that nice little groove right here. The G10 is nice, nowhere near as grippy as this. The inlays and the cutouts are good, and it's got a damn good handle. Close it up, and it's a real nice ergonomics for cutting, using as a tool. So I gave this an 8. Not quite a Small Fly 2, but a damn nice knife. Flippibility is a 4. Just like the Small Fly. Too small to flip. That's what it is. It is just too small to flip. Oh, I forgot to mention jimping. You know I fucking love jimping. That was a big reason why the ergonomics are so good. You can do a couple things. You can Zen roll over if you're feeling feisty, but it's just like the Small Fly. It's just too small to really do anything but extremely basic tricks. You're not doing too much with this thing. So as a result, you get the flippability of a 4. The looks, I gave it an 8. I think this is such a nifty Balisong. You can just tell there's interesting technology in it. You hold this over and then you're like, why is that holding like that? But you throw the latch over on this side and it doesn't do the same. It's all got a reason for it, and it's all because of this interesting technology going on in there. And you can see it. You can see like the liner bending as you move this knife around. I think this is just a very interesting and cool looking piece of technology. It's like a technological... It's like a show off of new Balisong technologies, this knife. And I really like it. The jeweling is gorgeous. That's why it has an 8 out of 10. And then the materials and finish, I gave that a 7. The titanium is really nice. The jeweling is a gorgeous finish. You got yourself a nice titanium pocket clip, which is nice. Often pocket clips are not titanium. But you do have a D2 blade steel, which if you are anywhere humid, if you're in India, if you're in Georgia, Florida, this thing is going to rust after like a month. Luckily, I'm not in any of those spots, but D2 is just not the best blade steel for a user knife. The rattling clip is annoying. It's really nice that it stays out of the way, but the rattling is obnoxious. And of course, Mega Tap, because it's washer only, I think. I hope I don't have that wrong. It does use Zen pins though, which is a nice bonus for such a small, nifty little knife using Zen pins. So that is going to give us a total score of a 27, whereas the small fly had a 28. So my opinion on these two knives, this one is, they're both great utility knives. This one is more so good for looks, because, you know, I love that jeweling, and the spear point is a really cool blade. It's a cool little chunky chode of a blade. This thing is more so just a perfect utility knife. S35VN. You got yourself a really useful blade shape for cutting things. Ambidextrous pocket clips. Better ergonomics. But it doesn't look as good as this. So it's down to you, Benchmade 32 versus small fly. Do you want something that looks nice and cuts pretty well, or do you want something that doesn't look quite as good but outperforms cutting? Because this got a 28 out of 40, this got a 27. So I really do think they're extremely similar knives when I score them, but this one edges it out just a tiny bit. But it's more of a trade-off. So that is my opinion of the Benchmade 32, another small little baby knife. Throw any suggestions of what knives you want to see in the future, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.